Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies and build update number 2 of AMT's 2021 Dodge Charger Hellcat Red Eye Wide Body. I am honestly thinking that this is becoming my favorite kit. Literally, I mean, of all time. I am having a blast with this. Um, This is coming real close to a couple of the Roadsters I built and the old Charger that I built a long time ago. Let's get the guys out of the way. They're all here for the party because it's been busy. We'll go over the body just real quick. I did a 1-hour video on this thing, on how I masked this off, and Daisy wanted to go for a ride. And how I got the Hellcat logo in it, which is almost like a ghost, but it's not. It does show up extremely well, especially after I screwed up and put turtle wax ice on this. Yup, I waxed it down. Look at the fingerprint I have on it. I've been messing with this for like 3 days now. Before I put the decals on, I put turtle wax ice down on this thing. But you know what? That's okay, because all the painting was done. All the masking was done. So we're cool with that. I don't have a lot of decals to do with this thing. Mainly, I got one right here. The little, I'm not sure what side it goes on, but the side marker on the front and the back, and a couple of things that go on here and there that we're going to have to deal with. And how am I going to deal with it? Easy. You can't use isopropyl alcohol to take the wax off, because you will take everything off. It'll take it right down that fast to bare plastic. Kaleido paints, isopropyl alcohol is their kryptonite. It's the best stripper that I've ever seen for any paint ever. I couldn't believe it. I tried it on a piece that I jacked up the one day where Purple Power did absolutely nothing with it. I wiped it off with a damp rag of isopropyl alcohol, and it was 2/3 of the way stripped. So I'm going to get a gallon of 91% and just dip and pull and clean. So, but for this, there is another option. Yeah, this looks so nice. I'm so happy with this, the color and everything. But there is another option, and it's a real easy option. This has clear coat on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Tamiya polish, and I am going to polish this by the wax right off it. I'll use medium and or I guess they call it fine and finish on it, and that'll take that the wax off. It just literally scrubs it off on the three pieces or 4 pieces that I got to do, and we'll be golden. So just a heads up, if you get in a hurry like I did, and I was all excited, I wanted to really just bring out, I wanted to see what these stripes were going to do on here. I didn't want them semi-gloss. I didn't want them high gloss. I wanted them to stay that matte look, and they sure did. Even with the wax on there, I was worried about when I put the wax on if it was going to go straight to a semi-gloss or whatever, but it pretty much stayed a little true. If anything, it got a little darker. The Hellcat too. It seems to show up a little bit better now. So I'm happy with that. I didn't want it to really be that jump in your face kind of mark. If I was going to do that, this would have been orange with the black on it. And that might happen sometime down the road, but not right now, because as soon as I saw this kit, I knew I wanted the green. And I'm really loving my choices on this kit pretty much. With that, we will go over, if you want to see how I did that, if you haven't seen the video on how I masked off that Hellcat, check it out. It's an hour-long video, but just fast forward where you want to go. It's how to use the Cricut and how I sprayed it. But like I said, you don't need to watch an hour's worth of me talking to the computer. You can jump right in wherever you want and fast forward through it. It's more like a how-to than an update. Next, I want to talk about my interior. I wanted the Hellcat red interior. So what did I do? I went to ChatGPT and I went to AI's or Google's AI, and they told me to use russet. So I did, not thinking that I should have hit it with primer before I did russet. And as you can see, these bad boys came out some kind of brandy color. Not exactly what I was looking for at all. And then I'm like, oh, what do I do with this? So what did I do? I took it and I painted it all with matte red. And this is just all kind of put together because I was playing last night. It was late, and I had to see how all the detail work I was doing came out. But I want to talk about this color first because it's honestly, I think, as close as you're going to get to that color on the car. Here, you know what? I don't have one spooled up, but here's a picture of what it should look like in the car. And then here's what it looks like. Um, I don't think it gets any better than that. I really don't. It's as close as I could get, and happy accidents because I was just throw a dart at the dartboard and see where it hit, and I grabbed the matte red over that let's call it burgundy wine color or something, and it's exactly the right color. So it's one coat. Well, it's two coats of the burgundy on top of black, on top of the matte black. I'm sorry, two coats of the burgundy, two coats of the russet over matte black, and then two coats of the matte red over top of that. So what I had to do is just I remasked everything the next day and repainted it. And this is really easy to mask. I used the Tamiya's vinyl tape to mask everything off to get those tight turns around the corners here. And then I was able to follow up with it the next day, and I did a pretty dang close job. So that's the color. And I'm telling you, it's with this kit, it just seems like I'm trying a lot of stuff that is just working really well for me, other than that burgundy color. If you look at that interior shot that I showed you, the armrests were black, most of them. I'm leaving the whole thing black because I want that separation in there. But before I glued it together, I took my Fusion Firm, mixed it up super well, and got my pointy brush, and dipped it in there, and I took it on the side of the brush and just kind of wrung around that ledge with the brush on an angle like this, about an eighth of the way, or an eighth of an inch up the brush. So the brush was actually, I wasn't trying to hit it with a point. I was just hitting it with the brush, and man, did it cut a nice narrow chrome line for me. Look at that. I could not ask for any better than that if it came with that chrome already attached. So I did that. I did the door handles with the Fusion Firm. I did a lot of stuff here that I wanted in this build. I didn't want just the average, the average build here. I'm trying to pull this off so I can get the seat out of the way so I can show you. the center column. So bear with me for 2 seconds. The center column, matte black. And then let me grab my finger. We'll go green because it shows up here with the black. For the little pullback opening thing here, I hit that with Future. My gosh. Yeah, I'm old. I hit that with the Quick Shine. I hit where the your sunglasses, I guess, would go with the Quick Shine, or probably the red fob. And then back in here, I hit with Quick Shine. This I rung with the Fusion Firm to get the chrome on there. This piece here, I hit with gunmetal, and I like it. I like it a lot. I did a lot more than just this with the gunmetal, so it all ties in well. So this is the gunmetal, and then you can hardly see it, but around where the stick shift goes, I hit that with my silver gel pen, and I wish I would have used the Fusion Firm, but a day late and a dollar short on that. But it still looks great. The stick shift, if you look, is painted matte black and then painted gunmetal underneath where it should be. And then right here, they have the little pernundle on that, which there's no decal for it, which I wish there would have been. That would have been cool. But I painted that with the regular Kaleido black. So everything in this kit, again, is being painted with Kaleido. I haven't done anything with Tamiya paints except for the black panel liner. Everything else has been out of the Kaleido sets, and I'm really liking the way they paint. I like the way, I put one drop in because most of my stuff is a little bit here and a little bit there. So I just put a drop in here. I'm not fighting with the Tamiya bottles to get them open. I'm not leaving them air out as I paint. These things stay wet for just long enough for me to do what I need to do before they dry out. So I might be putting my Tamiya paints away, believe it or not. I think I'm like one build away from going strictly Kaleido paints. I'll still use the Fusion Firm. I'll still use my Quick Shine. I'll probably every once in a while dive in and say, no, I want this color or want this, especially with the titanium gold. I haven't screwed around with any of the gold colors yet to try to match that, but that is my go-to for brakes. But again, these are looking great. The dashboard is not finished yet, but it's getting close. I'm decal away. I gunmetaled that. And then for the little louvers, the louver controls for the air conditioner, I hit those with the Fusion Firm. And it looks really good. You're seeing it a whole lot more bright than what it actually is. It's not as in your face as what you're seeing in the camera. And then again, that's the gunmetal, the Tamiya gun, or the Kaleido gunmetal. I'm so used to saying that, it just comes out. Then, while I had the gunmetal out, no sense in spraying just a couple of things or painting a couple of things. I did the rims in gunmetal, and these are the rims I'm going to use. And I thought, how cool would it be to ring a rim, or ring the rims with the red paint? And I really like what that looks like, but not with this green. Maybe a black, a brown, or something like that. That would really jump. But with the green, not so much. So I thought about painting these today in the Kaleido black, the gloss black, and letting them dry for a couple of days, and then coming and just doing like this on these with the gunmetal. So it'd be like a black background with the gunmetal in here. I have time left. I'm not sold either way. I really like this. I don't know if going the black would, I don't know, make a difference, to be honest with you. I still have to drill these out. I forgot to drill them out for the valve stems, so that'll happen. And I still need to do the chrome lug nuts. But I'm not going to panel line these. They don't need it at all. So there's my rims, kind of still in half limbo, half not limbo. We'll see. Oh, speaking of the interior, dang it, my steering wheel. And this is the reason why I decided to go with the gunmetal was the steering wheel, because I could not come up with a color to save my behind that looks like that. And I don't know, I was painting the rims and thought, well, why don't I do that on the steering wheel? And lo and behold, it's just the right color. Again, you're getting a lot more reflections off of these fluorescent lights driving straight down than what this is really showing. So I think it's going to be dead spot on. Um, so I'm jazzed with that. All I have to do now is the decals. I'm going to take a good close look at the decals and see before I do anything. But I may come in on the two spokes and paint those gunmetal and then put the decals over top of that, because they are that silver color that is on the Charger. But we got that. We have painted our shocks. I went with the yellow shocks. That's just the Kaleido yellow with the Kaleido black and Tamiya's panel liner. And the panel liner really knocked that yellow into this color, which is the right color for it. And I wanted the little tiniest of bling I can get underneath there, because there's a lot of black and underneath the car. Then I was having fun. This is halfway done. I still need to do the wash over top of it, but that's as close of a color as I could come up with. And I don't remember what the heck I used. So if I ruin this, I'm going to have to start from scratch. But I do keep this close at hand so I can ruffle through it and say, okay, let's go with that color or not. But the detail is awesome on here. And I'm going to bring you back to the engine. I know I showed you the engine last update, but you know me, I can't just leave well enough alone. I was upset with myself for the belt, so I repainted the belt matte green instead of the same dark green that I use for the body, and it's the right green, I think, for that belt. And the other thing I did is I heat treated my pipes, and that's Kaleido. They call it transparent, Kaleido transparent blue, and then I hit Kaleido's yellow, or I hit red. I'm sorry, the transparent red, and then the yellow to give it that color. I still got some overspray to take care of because I already had them glued on here when I did them. But man, oh man, is that going to look cool on a frickin' Roadster, huh? And I had to try it. I mean, it was one of those things where I was just on a roll. I had my 0.2 millimeter brush out anyhow, so I hit those. I also did some work on the exhaust. These are supposed to be weathered. I haven't used the weather. I will use my Weathermaster C on this, and I'll weather down and darken this up a little bit up here. But as these come into the other shocks, they won't. These shouldn't have that um, bluing on them, because it cools off as it goes through the first set of mufflers. I've noticed that on every undercarriage video or picture I've seen on them, and I haven't done anything with these yet. This is going to get a dark brown or metallic something on there, because these canisters are a different color. And then we'll panel line this out, and I think it'll look really good. Subtle is a lot. We're going really fast here today, because I got like 10 hours worth of work involved in this update, and we're going quick fast. I did paint this green, and I did have to cut my Shock towers out because what did I do? I used the wrong ones. Fortunately, I was able to come in and snip them off and get those out of the way. So all I had to do was re-drill the holes, put the right ones in. I painted them before I put them on. So teach me not to read the directions. Underside is getting there. I just realized that this is supposed to be aluminum. So I will paint this with the Kaleidos, either aluminum or steel. I'm not sure which. I don't want it that bright aluminum look. So I will paint that, and then we'll re-weather that. I painted this with the matte black, or with the Kaleido black yesterday, and let it sit. I came in and I painted the wires with the Kaleido black, let them sit overnight. And then up front here, I'm not quite sure if these are like mud flaps or the continuation of the plastic, which would be inside here, but I painted these black too. Not this. This is supposed to be whatever color you're doing, the overspray for the body. And again, that green's really showing up on here, and that shouldn't, because it should be like an overspray. And it is an overspray in person, but for some reason the camera's just picking up all the green and not the matte black. And then we started putting the body panels in. You're going to have to re-drill every single one of these holes as you go or after you paint, because everything will dry fit together, and then when you go to put it together after paint, it's too tight to fit together. So you'll have to go through there, but it's no big deal. And then what I did is I came back with Kaleido's wood. My new favorite fun. Kaleido's wood, and I dry brushed the bottom, first layer of dry brush. I did these, and while I had it out, I also did these little panels. That's probably backwards. I just dropped it in there. But I did these little panels. I still have to do the cross members and stuff like that. And I have to get this glued on, but I'm glad I didn't glue that on, because that goes right back here. And then what would I have done? Because I would have had to cut a line in here, because this is supposed to be the metal. So it is what it is. I'm happy with that. Not sure about these, the A-frames, if those should be black or green or whatever. But I think once I put the yellows through there and everything else gets put on, nobody's going to see it one way or another. So I'm just going to leave them the way they are. I did weather them. And I did, and I'm really proud of myself. Remember to weather the underneath of this. I did do a light dry brush underneath here, so it matches out. Because 9 times out of 10, I forget to do that. Moving on, and like I said, this is going to be a pretty quick video. I do have a couple other things to talk about after this, but moving on, I wanted to have, let's grab the car here. I wanted to have the front window clear, and then I want to have the back 3 windows smoked. So last night, before I went to bed, or before I went upstairs, I grabbed the glass and I hit it with the Kaleido transparent black. And you can see through it, but barely. And it's exactly the darkness that I was looking for, because these dang things are dark. They really are. So that's what I wanted in there. It covered very well. But on my test piece of glass, it bubbled on me really bad. And I thought, okay, well, the only way I'm going to get the oil off is to hit it with something. So I hit it with the 91% alcohol, wiped the glass down with that on a paper towel, and then dried it off, let it sit for a half hour, and it painted it with no problems, none at all. Laid down very nice. It's like I said, it's just the right amount of smoke. I was able to get an even coat on all 4, really all 5 pieces of glass. I did get 1 piece of lint on The driver's side, front, which I don't care because the back is the one or the driver's side, or the passenger side front. I might use about this much of it from here up. I'm thinking about cutting this, um, clearing off the rib on the top where where it goes into the slot, just leaving the rib on the side to give me a place to glue, and then putting this in like the window is 2/3 of the way down, just for a little bit of eye candy, maybe. I'm thinking we'll see how I feel when we get to that point, but at least the window's ready to go for it. Yeah, there is a spot down there. Remember I said I did a test. I wasn't sure if I was going to use these, and that's the bubble I got. And that's straight up a fisheye from having um, finger oil or whatever on it from when it was molded. So yeah, remember to wipe off your glass with the ISO. It worked. It didn't smoke or it didn't dull it out or anything. Um, but it looks really good. I mean, that's dark. That's real dark. But it's still see-through. You can still see in there with it. So I am good with that. It's exactly what I was looking for. I mean, you can tell what's in there, but you're going to have to look through the front windows to really get a good look at it. And that's exactly the way the cars are. So there is that. Everything's good to go here. Um, I was mentioned that I wanted to talk about something off topic. I use spoons for testing my flow, testing to see what the color looks like. I will prime these and paint, and everybody does it. That's how everybody tests their color. So look, that's this color. Well, it's never that color when you put it on a car. Obviously, with the purple I got out of these, but I always spray these things down, and then I go to the next one, and I'm well, there's a spoon, chuck it over the shoulder, get another one for a different color or whatever, just to see how my flow is, how my finger feels on the airbrush for what I get. That's all I'm really looking for with when I do these. And then at the end, I'll just blast it if I have a half a drop of stuff left in. Well, the other day I was painting the gunmetal on these, and I took a spoon and I painted the gunmetal on the spoon, and was like, "Oh, cool." It just took it the feel. Everything felt right, and everything worked right. And let's teach. And then the day went on, that dried. The next day came in, and I started doing the engine, where I did that heat treating on the exhaust. So I grabbed the transparent blue, and I sprayed it over that gunmetal, and I was like, "Oh, does that look sharp?" The gunmetal with the transparent blue really made it blue, but it was like a metallic-y blue. And then last night, and this was just it's there, hit it again. I was using the transparent black, and I put a coat on that same spoon with the blue and the gunmetal, and check this out. I have a color for my gallery build. Look at that. It's like almost color changing from the black to the blue. It's so cool. And this isn't polished, this isn't cleared, nothing. It's just a coat of the clear blue over gunmetal, and then a coat of the black over that. Look at how that drops out to black, and then you see the blue on the top. So I don't know if you'd call that a candy blue or what the heck you'd call it, but it was a happy accident. And let me pause you for just a second. I'm going to bring another kit over here and show you what we're getting into. So Kaleido's having a big competition, building competition, and it's split up into different categories. And I was kind of asked in an email if I'd like to join and if I'd like to put this out to everybody else to join too. And I told her, sure, I will join, but I don't have a kit yet that I can use for it. So I wanted something that was going to be a challenge, and I wanted something that I could really have fun with. And this is what we're going to be building next for the Kaleido build. So it just came in the mail. It came in a bag, and of course it's dinged in there. But I opened it up, and it's perfect. I have a couple of ideas for this that are going to be, well, this ain't going to be not box stock like the Chargers. Let's put it that way. We're going to put everything we got into this. We're going to have lights in this thing. We're going to do some graphics on here. This is going to be a huge build. So I got another probably week on this guy. The interior is just about ready to drop. I got to do the decals tomorrow. And then the suspension, which still is in styrene. I mean, I just ran out of everything in time, especially to get everything painted and ready to drop. So I'm not hurrying this by any means to get into the next build, but I am signing up tonight for that build. And there will be a link in the description on if you want to get involved in it. And also coming up, I'll start having a flyer that she sent me that that I'll show you right here. Okay, it's the GVCC, Gallery World. I guess that's a W, not a V. Gallery World Creator Cup 2026. And this is, this came out April 29th. And it's basically taking everybody and having them set up to where they can go in here and show everybody what they got. And I figured, what the heck? Let me put my money where my mouth is and literally and see how I can do. I'm nowhere near at a level where I think I'm going to win anything on this, but at least I can give it a try, and have fun with it. And it'll give me a chance to push myself and try new things. And that's what we're going to do with this. It's a 120-day competition. There's 6 categories. And here, let me scroll this over. Sci-fi, auto, military, miniature, 3D design, and open category. I don't know what open category would be. There's a dedicated website for all this. There's rules. You have to do a weekly update. If you don't do a weekly update on the second week, if you don't do it for 2 weeks, you're getting the boot. So there it is. It's a community driven. They're going to have gallery people voting for this, and they're going to have other people voting too. So it's not just gallery picking. April 7th is where it starts. There's a soft launch on May 11th. June 30th is when the registration closes. So I got to get my butt in gear here and at least get registered, and I'll do a build update on it for the first week. And then every week I will do a little update on how things are going. So I'll do little update builds once a week, no matter what, and probably like every Sunday, just so that we can, we don't get booted out of this. And if we get booted out of this, we do, but I'd really like, since they've done so much for me and our community, that I'd really like to at least jump in here with both feet and give them everything that I can. So this is the way it's going to go here. I will post this on the Grandpa Mark's Hobbies, Grandpa Mark's Hobbies, Lena Schultz's Facebook group page, so that everybody will have a chance to see this. And if you want to jump in, register and see what you can do. So there it is. I'm kind of excited over it because I know that with something like this where I really have to push myself to do perfect, and anymore I'm feeling very confident in the way things are rolling out. So there is that. Um, Let me try to figure out where my mouse went. Um, I'm excited, like I said, with that. I really, really am. Um, and I'm excited to where the whole channel's going right now. We're doing new things and we're trying more things, and I'm getting a lot of your feedback in, saying, "Hey, did you ever look at this, or did you ever see that, or did you ever?" Keep those coming. If you see me screw something up, please, hey, that's on backwards, or hey, you did this wrong, or that's supposed to be this color, or whatever. Keep me going. Don't think that you're just trying to jab me or something like that. I don't get upset over those. I really appreciate them. I appreciate the thumbs up. I appreciate the thumbs down. If you give me a thumbs down, though, I'd appreciate it if you just told me why in a comment. You know, fair enough, right? Let me know what's going on. And the other thing is your subscriptions. They're really helping this channel move forward. So with that, I have talked enough, and I know you guys are ready for me to shut up. So let's thank Gallery for everything they've done for us. Um, you can go to their webpage and use Grandpa Mark for a 10% off of your entire order, including sale prices, or you can use the code that's across the top on Amazon and get a discount that way. Let's not forget, I got the 24-hour group build coming up in October. So we got a lot of stuff stacking up, but this is super important for me. Um, it's a breast cancer awareness group build. It's really for all cancer. We're calling it the breast cancer awareness group build. Myself, Lennis, Bruce from Bruce's Eclectic World, and Jason from KRD Speed Shop are on. We're going to be on for 24 hours, and then we're going to have people come in and out as it goes. But if you could take one cup of coffee that you would buy during the week and save that money and donate it at the end to this cause, you'll be doing a world of help for a lot of people. You can also jump over to the store, and anything you buy over at the store, the proceeds will go to the 24-hour group build. Let's thank our veterans, our first responders, and our active duty people for putting it out there on the line every single day. I salute each and every one of you, and I thank each and every one of you. Let's not forget about my friends at Automotive Model Car Livecast. These guys make every other Thursday in the summer really worth staying up for, and you all know that I'm an early to bed guy. Um, so it's really worth it. And again, I want to thank each and every one of you for everything. Um, I wouldn't be doing any of this if it wasn't for all of you. I feel like I'm helping, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time to let me know what's going on. And I want to wish all of you a great weekend. Thank you very much for watching. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see you real soon with an unboxing of this Mobius kit.